Hey everybody, I'm Tony Fleming from Fleming's Ultimate Garage. Thanks for joining me on today's video. You want to go fast? Well, I'm not sure that this will get you there. I'm positive it will get you there. Anyway, we're talking about 2017 Mustang GT Premium, and why am I making that sentence so long? Well, I'll tell you why. In 2014, when the GT 500 was discontinued, right, there was no place to go fast. You could get around 400 horsepower in a Mustang. It just wasn't enough. You say 400 horsepower, Tone, come on. That's not enough? No, it's not enough. When these GT 500s were making 500, and as they crept up to almost 600, and now we're at 700, moving to 800. I mean, these numbers are absolutely spectacular, but these are $100,000 cars. $100,000 cars plus dealer markup and all that good stuff. You say, whoa, that sounds like a lot of money. That's why I say here, spend a minute looking at the car, looking at the dollars that are spent here, the condition of this car, one owner, garage kept, all this work was professionally installed by somebody, not by himself, right? He just wrote the checks and had the right people do the right work. It's exactly why you want to have this car. While we're talking about money spent on a car, let's start at the bottom here. These are real Shelby 20-inch rims with a fresh set of Nittos on there. Set you back right around $5,000. These stripes here, these are matte stripes, custom made with this red pinstripe. The red pinstripe offsets this car because, look, if this car would just had black stripes with a black interior, it would look nice, but it wouldn't give you that pop that matches the Brembo callouts in the calipers. All of these little things, right? That great grill that's there. This is pearl white paint. It's an extra cost paint as well. It is really, really beautiful. You can't maybe tell from the video there, but when you look at it, it's got this great metallic in it too that you wouldn't normally get in a flat white paint. All right, so come on up here because I like to do this if you don't mind. Is I like to show a little bit of the paint quality. This is factory, all original paint. And look at that right there. All the letters are nice and clear. You can see the ceiling lighting. You can see the ribs in the ceiling. And just a nice touch. Lastly, before we go any farther on this is some of the little stuff, like these black callouts that are here. These are the little touches that we did along the way. The stripes, the callouts, the wheels, all that stuff. This is what makes a car look a little different than all the other. And then it's lowered too with the suspension and looks amazing. All right, so a big part of many of the purchases of cars, but for different styles of people. For instance, some people just love a great performance car. They want something cool and good looking, like my friend Stu and his son. They love this stuff. Other people want to be able to open the hood. They want to see the stuff. They want to see the nuts and bolts of it. I think both of those kind of customers are great. They just love cars. I love cars, and we have a lot in common. But when you open the hood of this car here, and you're like, whoa, what is all of that, mother of God? And I say to you, right? I say, listen, man, this is a Whipple supercharger. It's the most expensive supercharger out there. Why? Because it makes the best volume. It makes the power that you want. It's reliable. It stays cooler than other superchargers, right? And it's a matter of opinion for many people, but you can see the way it's driven. It's driven here from the front pulley, but it's driven in the back to keep the heat down, things like that. And it makes everything fit so nicely in here. This supercharger can be bigger and also fits inside the car here because superchargers that are too big, there's no place to put them. You can't close the hood. They've solved that problem. This is beautiful. You open it with the polished pieces of the valve covers and the detail that's under here. You'd be proud to go to any show, not to mention the small, tiny little thing that it's 600 horsepower. 600 horsepower, okay? I want you to think about that number for a minute while we move on to the rest of the car. All right, so what I love about these in general is if I was to remove this emblem right here, 99% of the world would know this is a Mustang. Like these taillights have been around since the 60s, right? The sequential taillights too. This spoiler for the track package with the big brakes, this diffuser that's back here, all of these racing pieces. And look at the pipes that are there. They're like this, right? We heard that when we get out on the road, you're going to hear all of that. And then lastly, the best part I love is that if you wanted to go away for the weekend, like this is a usable car, right? It has a full trunk in here, right? With it gave us all of most of the extra parts that they had changed off of the car, and I wanted to leave the box in there just so you could see, like for instance, look how much room is in there. It holds a whole set of luggage. You could go to the airport, you could go away for the weekend, you could go to a winery, you could go to wherever you wanted to go. And it's real, and it happens. If you decide to get in the trunk, you can always get out, which is, I think, is a very nice feature because some people are coming out of the closet, some people are coming out of the trunk. Whatever your choice is, okay by me. All right, so you're walking up to your cool car. You know what happened before that? You asked the boss, you said, hey, do you mind if I check out at 4 o'clock. It's Friday. I worked hard this week. And they're like, oh, yeah, go ahead and get out of here, man. Go, get moving. And you go and you walk outside. I love this shot where you're walking up to your car and you're like, man, this is my car. And then you're going to go get inside. You're going to get inside because that's where you're going to spend your time. But I just want you to see what everybody else gets to see in a fabulous car. All right, so when you get a Mustang GT, you get a great car, but the GT Premium is a whole nother level up and why it's a lot more expensive. For instance, the black leather that you get in here versus a cloth seat, the stitching that matches the paint on the outside of the car, right? This infotainment system is super nice. I'll tell you, man, it's super modern. This has a shaker audio system in here, and then you get these great buttons, these 3 buttons right here. These 3 buttons we call the Nirvana buttons. Why? Well, because if you're feeling sassy, you can change the mode here to the drive modes for Sport, Sport Plus, Track, Snow, or Normal, right? You can change the steering feel of how you like it, Comfort, Normal, and Sport. And then if you're wearing sassy pants, because you have to wear sassy pants to do this button, it requires it, it checks your pants, is to turn the traction control off. So if you went to the track or something like that and you wanted to hang it out just a little bit, you could do that. Having said all that, this has an upgraded shifter in it, so it's click, click. Look at click, click. It's this far. It's easy to drive, and then you have all this great stuff in here for like modern things, like for the volume and for cruise control and like a real world car, right? This has this cool center stripe right here. A lot of people say, well, what is that stripe that's on there? And I say, well, that's so that you know that the steering wheel, okay, and the car is pointed straight, because this is a reminder, these cars can get a little squirrely, and if you're over here or over here, you might not know which way the wheel goes. Boom, and that centers you. Power seats, power windows, air-conditioned seats, heated seats, keyless entry, like all of these great things that make for a modern car, and throw in 600 horsepower, and it is a lot of fun. This right here is what I call matched. And what do I mean by that? Say, oh, matched. What does that mean? I have to come in and you have to match me up with it? Well, maybe, maybe not. I just like to make sure you can drive it. More importantly, matched meaning the powertrain, right, is upgraded. But they also upgraded the brakes. They also upgraded the suspension, right? They also upgraded the look of this car, the wheels and tires for a bigger footprint. Like all of this is what I call matched together to give you a car that's a whole package, right? Not just a fast car or a good-looking car or a nice interior. It's got all of the components to make it a great car. Anyway, call us 301-816-1000. And if you don't mind, actually, you know what we're going to do? We're going to go on the test drive, but you can call us anyway. If you don't mind, hit the share button down below. I really like that. I appreciate the message that you get out. Share it with your friends. They might like to see some of that as well. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. You might see some new stuff that you like. And I'll see you again, like I said, on the test drive. So the Mustangs, to me, have always had some of the greatest sounds. It's based on firing order, compression, things like that. They make a fabulous, fabulous noise. This one here in particular, because we have 2 exhaust systems here. I want you to hear both because they just sound great. All right, so first exhaust system, right, with the closed. And we're going to open them up. This is so much fun. Oh my God. Now they're wide open, huh? The dump tubes. It's ferocious. Oh my God. It's ridiculous.